So Russia is ramping up strikes in Ukraine, but inside Russia, a more dangerous situation is developing. Moscow says Ukraine wants to take a nuclear plant, the Kursk nuclear facility. Intense fighting is on barely 40 kilometers from this plant.
Ёбаный в рот, текайте, блядь! Нахуй и мы текаем, блядь, ёбаный в рот! Валим нахуй, хули вы снимаете, поехали! Блядь!
Взорвалась бочка.
А я не слышала.
Ну вот же, глянь. Вот это уже плохо. Вот это уже плохо.
Мне страшно.
Это сейчас они все бабахнут.
Уходим отсюда. Мне жарко уже.
Все.
Ukraine is intensifying its operations inside Russia. The video you just saw came out earlier this month. Ukraine has been going after Russia's critical infrastructure. In this instance, an oil depot was hit by a Ukrainian drone, and there have been other attacks like this one. Moscow is raising an alarm about it now. Last week, Vladimir Putin made a big claim. He said Ukraine tried to strike the nuclear plant in Kursk.
The International Atomic Energy Agency has been informed. They promised to come themselves to send specialists to assess the situation. I hope that, in the end, this will be done on their part.
He mentioned the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA. That's the United Nations nuclear watchdog. The IAEA is deeply concerned. The agency chief traveled to Kursk today. They're calling the situation an emergency.
I was informed about impact of drones. I was shown some of the remnants of those and signs of the impact they had. The fact that the plant is operating make it even more serious in terms of an eventual action against it. When a plant is operating, the temperature is much higher, and if there was the case of an impact or something that could affect there would be serious consequences.
Ukraine has not said anything about this yet, but it's fairly obvious. Ukrainian forces are trying to move closer to this facility. The Kursk plant is one of Russia's top nuclear power stations. It is around 60 kilometers away from the Russia-Ukraine border. Moscow fears that Ukrainian forces could launch an attack soon. Security at the plant has been heightened. Its employees have been sent on a leave. Instead, Russian troops have been deployed there. They've been digging trenches around the site. So this nuclear plant is now part of an active war zone. Rafael Grossi has issued warnings. He's the Director General of the IAEA, the man you just heard from. He says the Kursk facility is within artillery range, meaning Ukrainian forces could strike this plant from a distance, and that could lead to a disaster, something like the Chernobyl accident of 1986, or even worse. Let me tell you why. The Kursk facility is not a modern nuclear plant. It still uses old Soviet technology. Its reactors do not have any extra layers of protection around them, and that makes them quite dangerous. Consider what Rossi said, and I'm quoting, "They don't have a protective dome around them, just a normal roof, which means the reactor's core is pretty exposed." So the reactors are vulnerable. What if a rocket dropped on this facility? Or if one of the reactors was struck by artillery? There could be a massive disaster, a catastrophic meltdown, just like Chernobyl, which was the worst nuclear disaster in human history. The explosion released more radiation than the nuclear bombing of Hiroshima, over 400 times more. The disaster has made Chernobyl inhabitable. No one would be able to live there for 20,000 years because of radiation. Now, Kursk in Russia faces a similar risk. The reactors here run on the same technology as Chernobyl. It's called the RBMK. That's the technology. Earlier, this plant had 4 reactors. They were built before the Chernobyl disaster and used the same RBMK technology. Today, only 2 reactors are operational, but the risk of a massive disaster still remains. And to make it worse, the Russian town of Kurchatov is nearby. Civilians live close to the nuclear facility. Bomb shelters are being installed there now. The locals are worried about their safety.
There are concerns, of course. It is happening here, at our borders. We have faith in our soldiers.
Sometimes it can be quite loud. The kids were initially worried, but I explained to my older daughter that we are being protected. The air defense system is activated. It means everyone is informed.
Soldiers should not fight near a nuclear power plant. That is just common sense. But throughout this war, nuclear plants have been caught in the crossfire. First, it was Zaporizhia, where the fighting still hasn't stopped, by the way. Just a few weeks ago, one of the towers at Zaporizhia was attacked. And now Kursk is under threat. This madness needs to end. We can only hope for cooler heads to prevail, although the intensifying attacks between Ukraine and Russia are not reassuring. They're putting the whole world at risk.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On the today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon moved across to the West Indies. What can we expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
Start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. For the first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital.